No matter who we are or what we've done, we each have limited time here. And it's so easy to get caught up in our work and our relationships and our responsibilities that the days and the months and even the years, they just fly by. And that's why it's so important to really take a moment to pause and get present to this gift that we call life. You know, that Mary Oliver quote says, "Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life?" Welcome to Living in the Miracle Zone. This is the place to be if you want to live in the flow of synchronicities and miracles in your daily life. I'm your host, Marci Shimoff, and I'm a #1 New York Times bestselling author, a teacher in The Secret, and the creator of the worldwide program, Your Year of Miracles. And I've spent my life studying happiness and miracles, and it is my heartfelt intention that we have a fabulous time together in this episode of today's podcast. Welcome to the Miracle Zone. Today's episode is about what do you want to do before it's too late? This is inspired by the time that it was a few years ago, I got to go see the one and only Paul McCartney in concert. And I've been a big Beatles fan since I was a little kid, and getting to see Paul on stage was amazing. And this particular concert was extra special because not only was just one Beatle on the stage, but Paul was joined by John Lennon. Yeah, I know that John is on the other side, but they did a really special tribute to him, and they played a video of John singing "I've Got a Feeling." They played it on this giant screen, and then Paul joined in to sing along with them. And after the song, Paul really commented that he wished that he had let John know before it was too late, that he'd let him know how he felt about him. And it got me thinking about how important it is to do the things that we need to do while we have the chance. It doesn't matter who you are. You could be one of the greatest legends on earth. You could be Paul McCartney. And still, at the end of the day, we each have a limited time here on this planet. And even if you believe in reincarnation, right here, right now, is your only shot to be the unique person that you are in this lifetime. There's a great book by Bronnie Ware, and Bronnie was a nurse who took care of patients at the end of their lives, and she got to hear all of the regrets that people had firsthand. And she wrote this book called The 5 Regrets of the Dying. And the top regret that people shared was, "I wished I'd had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life that other people expected of me." And Bronnie said the only way that we can find peace within ourselves is to be true to our calling, to be true to our own nature and our own dreams. And in the book, the other top regrets that people had were wishing that they hadn't worked so hard, and wishing that they'd had the courage to express their feelings, and wishing that they'd stayed in touch with their friends, and wishing that they'd let themselves be happier. So what is it for you? What do you need to do before it's too late? Is it reaching out to an old friend or a family member that you've lost touch with? Is it writing that book that you've always thought about writing? Is it spending more time in your life doing the simple things that bring you greater and deeper happiness? And maybe you aren't totally sure what it is you'd be doing, but you don't want to have regrets. So what if you had the chance to get messages from your future self right now? Well, in a minute, I'm going to take you through a short process where you can connect in with your future self so that you can really check in with what is your future self telling you so you can live a life without regrets. And if you're driving while you're listening to this episode, you may want to come back to this meditation once you're home and you're able to really relax and let go. So sit in a really comfortable place where you won't be disturbed and in a comfortable position, and allow your eyes to close gently. And if you're comfortable, you can put your hand on your heart and just feel your beautiful heart. Focus your attention on your breath. Imagine that you're breathing into and out of your heart. And on each inhale, breathe deeply into your heart. And on each exhale, breathe easily out of your heart. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in easily and effortlessly, and then letting go with each exhale. And with each inhale and exhale, you become more relaxed and more comfortable. And bring yourself right now to your favorite place in nature. This could be a place where you've been before. It could be a place that you imagine. And it's where you feel most relaxed and at home in your authentic self. It might be in the mountains, or it might be by the ocean, or by a lake, or maybe a desert or a forest or a meadow, whatever it is that sings to you. Allow yourself to sit down in that comfortable spot. And notice, what do you see? What do you feel around you? Notice the nature. Notice the shapes, the contours, the colors of the nature. And notice what sounds you hear around you. Are there birds in the distance chirping away? Or do you hear water lapping up against the shore? Is there wind rustling through the trees? Or is it very deeply still and quiet? And notice the smells. Do you smell the scent of flowers or the ocean? And notice the feel of the air against your skin. Is there a breeze? Does the air feel cool or warm? And just fully allow yourself to relax in this favorite place. And as you sit here, open and relaxed, notice that a being appears and walks towards you and sits down in front of you, facing you. And this being sits down with a huge smile and so much love beaming from them. And this being feels very familiar. It's your older, wiser self. This is you, and maybe it's your 80-year-old or 90-year-old or 100-year-old self. And your future self is so fulfilled and so happy because you have dreamed your miraculous dreams and you have lived them. And as your future self looks at you, you just feel this incredible connection between you and them. There is no time or space. And then your future self starts thanking you. Thanking you for having gone on this brave journey of being human. And your future self begins listing all the ways that you have grown in this lifetime, the challenges that you've faced and overcome, and all the ways in which they celebrate you and they are so proud of you, your future self. And now allow yourself to let in that gratitude. Just take a moment and let it land in your heart. And now your future self says, here's what I really want you to know. I want you to follow your heart and do that thing that might scare you but inspires and excites you. That thing that you feel so called to do from your heart. And take a moment to just feel what that is. And then your future self says, I wish you'd spent less time doing X. And you fill in what that is. And more time doing Y. And you feel into what is that? What is it that your future self wishes that you spent less time on? And what is it that they wish you'd spent more time on? Just feel into that. And finally, your future self, your older, wiser self, wants to leave you with a message. The one message for you that is most helpful for you to hear. So what does your 90 or 80 or 100-year-old self tell you that will most help you on your journey today? Just let that message sink in to your heart. Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. So as we bring this visit to a close, thank your future self, your older, wiser self, for being here with you today and for sharing his or her appreciation of you and wisdom. And you watch them as they walk away, knowing that your future self is always there for you whenever you want to have a conversation. And you are left feeling gratitude and joy and peace. And take a deep breath, breathing in the experience fully, remembering whatever it is that you need to remember, it will be there for you. And imagine now you leave this special sacred place in nature and you come back to the place that you're sitting in right now, the chair that you're sitting on or the floor, and feel your body. And as you come back into this present time and space, you bring back with you the ease and the love and the wisdom that you experienced. And now you can stretch a little, you can wiggle your toes, your fingers, and when you feel ready, you can slowly open your eyes. Wonderful. So you may want to take a few minutes and write down what messages came to you. And here's what I want you to know. Having a miraculous life isn't about how many hours you work or how many Instagram followers you have. It is about following the yearnings of your heart, your soul, really being true to yourself and making time for what really matters. So I invite you to take one baby step today towards something that your future self asked you to do more of, and this will get you more in the miracle zone. So thank you for listening. I hope you're feeling inspired and uplifted and more in the miracle zone after our time together. And if you enjoyed this episode, we so appreciate your 5-star ratings and your reviews. And please share the Miracle Zone love with your friends and your family. And if you're ready to live more in the Miracle Zone, you can start by taking our free 2-minute quiz to find out what your miracle superpower is. You just go to miraclequiz.com. And remember that your life of miracles is waiting for you. It is your birthright. And simply by listening to this podcast, you are taking a step forward into the Miracle Zone. Enjoy, and I'll see you next time.